Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, sports world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, man. Happy to be back. I want to talk about the Julio Foolio trial. Okay, as y'all know, the Julio Foolio trial last week, it was pretty much it was pretty much decided. All four was found guilty. Now this week it was the penalty phase. But hey, before I get started, man, make sure y'all go hit that like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button. And make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. But the Julio Foolio trial is completed now. Well, it's about 90% completed. The next thing in the Julio Foolio trial will be the pretty much the sentencing. They already know three of them is going to get sentenced. The reason why is because Florida automatically their life sentence is actually a life sentence. They're one of the only states to actually have that. I'm not really, I'm not gonna say that I don't like it. I'm not gonna say I do like it, but I can understand why they do it. But so it's completed. As y'all know, the penalty phase was this week. What's the penalty phase is pretty much the jurors will pretty much hear everything over again. What they would decide is they'll go inside of a room and they'll pretty much say whether you deserve the death penalty or whether you deserve life in prison. Well, the penalty phase is complete. They said that all of them pretty much have life in prison. Now, on the 22nd, it will be the sentencing. The sentencing is pretty much, they already know they have a life sentence. They have more charges. My prediction is they're going to give them life plus maybe 20 to 30 years. And I say life plus 20, life plus 30 is because they have another attempted M on this as well. So I think they'll give them 20, 25, maybe 30 years for that. And also they have like maybe, I think they have like a weapons charge. So I think they'll give them 10 years, 15 years for that. So I think they'll get life plus 30. I'm gonna go with life plus 20 or life plus 30 and for all of the defendants in this. But it's completed, y'all. They always found guilty. They always guilty. I said this right here from the beginning, from even the Alicia Andrews. Now, I think that the Alicia Andrews, I think that she got away easy. I think that she was just as much a part of this as the other four. I think she should have been found guilty as well as these guys here. But I think that they put her on there, and somebody sent me a message the other day, and they said that, do you think that Alicia Andrews, the reason they found her guilty of manslaughter is because she was a new mother and they wanted to give her a second chance? I feel like this. If you're going to think like that for her, you should think like this for all of them. Because I honestly feel like, and Alicia Andrews' name came up a lot in this trial. Her name came up a lot. Her boyfriend, Isaiah Chance's lawyer, even said, this is not Isaiah Chance's phone. This is Alicia Andrews' phone. Alicia Andrews was the one who dialed this number and gave the phone to Isaiah Chance. So I think her name came up a lot in this trial. And by me looking at this trial, I honestly feel like she got away with murder, honestly, because right before the murder happened, y'all, guess who was the one who actually told the gunmen? He rolled back through the parking lot one more time to make sure that they knew where Charles Jones, which was Julio Foolio, was setting at. Him, Isaiah Chance, and Alicia rolled back through the parking lot one more time, made sure that they knew where to set up the gunmen's at. And they came back out, and as they got out, That's when the gunmen, a few minutes later, is when the gunmen came in and started shooting at Julio Foolio. So I think that they were just as part of the murder. To be honest with you, if Isaiah Chance and Alicia Andrews do not tell them where the place, where he was setting at, I honestly don't think that they possibly, Julio Foolio possibly could be still alive. Honestly, I think that them putting the gunman in place to pretty much assassinate Julio Foolio was the number one thing in this trial. And they cannot let Alicia Andrews get away. And I don't think they will. I don't think the state of Florida is going to let her get away with this. I think they'll give her 10 to 15 years. And I think that that's good for her because she was just as part of this as well. And then you telling me that you've been in the house with all of these dudes and they got guns and you ain't asking no questions? You go to the club and you ain't asked not one question? Let me ask y'all this question. As a man, I'm talking about as a young lady. You telling me that you go to the club, you go to 2-3 different clubs, and y'all in the house together, and you didn't ask no questions? Like, what the hell, y'all? What are we doing down here? But they use that Alicia Andrews thought they was going down there for a romantic night out. First of all, y'all go out and y'all don't go to no club. Y'all go into no club. And for the people that's saying that judge was unfair, I'm gonna tell you like this right here. I watched that entire trial, and to be real, that judge should have been harder on her legal team. Yeah, Jeremy, the slow talking lawyer, and the other lady who putting the makeup on her in the courtroom. Where in the hell do you think you put makeup on inside of a courtroom while you fighting a murder charge? Make it make sense. But like I said before, I think that she will get. I don't think they're gonna give her a new trial. I think that this right here was a hands down trial. I think this right here was an easy verdict. I think that honestly she should have been found guilty of first degree murder like the rest of them, but manslaughter, I'm good with that. And her legal team should take this as a win. And to go on to the next one, also the young Dolph Cornelius, the last one, he was honestly the one who actually, I feel like his gun was the one who actually killed young Dolph. He got sentenced yesterday to 20 years. And I'm gonna say this right here, man, and I hate to say this, but if you want to get away with murder, these are the 2 or 3 of the places you should go to. Memphis, Tennessee is the number 1. Chicago, Illinois is number 2. And St. Louis, Missouri is number 3. Those are hands down the 3 places that if you want to get away with a crime, those are the 3 places that you go to. Because chances are you're going to get away with it. I've never seen something like this right here. Yes, Cornelius was one who actually told everything. But in the end, I think that the Memphis PD dropped the ball on this young Dolph trial. And the reason I say that I think they dropped the ball on it is because, first of all, y'all knew that Big Jook was a part of this murder. But you all did not arrest him. You did not even bring his name up until he died. When he died, then they want to bring his name up, and then they want to bring his name up in the trial. So if y'all knew all of this information, why did y'all not arrest him before then? That's why I say that I think it's a bigger fish in this situation. And Cornelius was just and Straight Drop was just a small fish in this situation. I think that this thing was way bigger than those 2. Govan Hernandez, he got away, found not guilty. You got Straight Drop was the only one that was sentenced to life in prison. Yes, he was one of the gunmen, but Cornelius was just as part of the murder as well. I don't think 20 years is enough. I think that they allowed him, oh yeah, you told us everything, which he told them everything that we already knew. And they did not convict the person that they wanted to convict. So it's kind of like you only got one person arrested. And it was a mess. Yes, you told us that Big Jook was involved. You told us that Straight Drop was Govan Hernandez, but you only got one person. So I think that the Memphis PD dropped, and then investigators dropped the ball on this young Dolph murder. And I think that that's the reason why Cornelius, he's going to get out in about 15 years. He only have 20 years. And honestly, I think if Straight Drop, if Cornelius don't tell on Straight Drop, I think that Straight Drop get away with it. Memphis is one of the worst places when it comes down to committing a crime. You can get away with it. Think about it. When Young Dog, think about it, when Gucci Mane got robbed and these dudes went back to Memphis. Did y'all know that Memphis was getting ready to let them out? Did you know that Memphis was getting ready to set them a bond until Texas stepped in? That's the only reason that they did not get out. The people that was in Gucci Mane's robbery, kidnapping, whatever it was, that's the only reason why they did not get out is because Texas stepped in. The feds jumped in and was like, nope, they will not get out on bond. But Memphis was getting ready to let them out on bond. And that's right there what I said. And it's the same thing with the rapper when what's his name got shot. What's his name is Sauce Walker. We ain't heard nothing else about the people that was in his artist murder. We ain't heard nothing else about it. We heard one of them was found in Houston, and we ain't heard nothing else about the other two. We ain't heard really nothing else about the other two. What did they arrest them? Because I ain't heard nothing else about it. That's what I'm telling y'all, Memphis, man. Chicago is the same way. Did y'all know that Chicago has a 70% rate that if you get charged for a murder or a crime, that you got a 70% chance to get off? I didn't even know this. I looked this up the other day. A 70% chance to get off. Jacksonville, Florida is another one. I'm gonna tell y'all something. If these dudes would have committed this crime in Jacksonville, Florida, I honestly don't think they would have got away. I mean, I don't think they would have got caught. I think they would have got away, honestly. The only reason I say that these young men got caught in the Julio Foolio murder is because they did it in a place where they knew that they had to hold them accountable, which was Tampa, Florida, right across the street from UCF. Central Florida. I mean, South Florida is one of them, but it was right across the street from the college. So they had to do something. But if this crime would have been committed in Jacksonville, they would have got away with this. I promise you they would have. Jacksonville, Memphis, Chicago, St. Louis, those four places right there, you commit a crime, you can damn near get away. And I damn near want to throw New Orleans, Louisiana in it as well. But like I said before, man, the Julio Foolio trial is completed. They all was found guilty. They all will get a lot of time. With Isaiah Chance, he's gonna get life. All of the four, Davion Murphy, Rashard Murphy, Sean Gathright, they're all getting life in prison, but they're also going to get more time to that. So I'm gonna come back. I'll probably come back on here again and talk about it after the sentencing. Because like I said before, I think it's going to be life plus 20, 30, maybe 30 years. And I think that this trial right here will be set, and then they can turn their attention back to the Alicia Andrews trial. But I will say this right here, man, I got to give it up to that prosecutor, the guy that did the closing arguments. I'm going to call him Iceman. He did a hell of a job with that closing argument, because I think that by him taking them back through and telling them everything that happened, and to be honest with you, man, I think that if maybe one or two other people, maybe one more person in this situation would have probably died, I think they would have all got the death penalty, honestly. I honestly believe that, because the only reason why they did not get the death penalty is because only one person died. I think that if multiple people died in this situation, I honestly believe that they would have got the death penalty. But I'm happy that they didn't get the death penalty. I think that life in prison was good for them. I think that they're evil, but I don't think that they're what's the guy? It was this one other guy that's on Facebook. He's from Florida as well with the crazy hair. And he said, if you think I'm coming to play with y'all today, God damn it, I'm not. That guy. Right. I think his name was Rodney O'Neal. But that guy should have got the death penalty. But these right here, I don't think they should have got the death penalty. I think life in prison was the perfect thing. And I think that this right here should be a learning experience for a lot of young men out here. I don't want to call them YNs, but I'm gonna explain before I get off. I'm gonna tell y'all why these kids don't give a damn about what just happened in this Julio Foolio trial. You want to know why? Because the people in the Julio Foolio trial didn't give a damn until they got caught. That's when everybody care. Everybody care when they get caught. They don't care right now. You see what I'm saying? See, people be like, man, these young kids need to watch what happened in the Julio Foolio trial. Man, they don't give a damn what happened in that trial, because when you out here doing terrible things, you don't care about you don't care about the consequence. You care about the consequence when it's time to care about the consequences. That's why I say that I think that, some people is going to learn, maybe a couple people will look at it and learn from it. But the majority of the young men and young people out here, they don't give a damn about that trial. That trial ain't going to teach them nothing. Because guess what? They're going to go out there and they're going to commit another crime that's going to be just like that one. And they're going to be sitting in the same situation as a 20-year-old Sean Gathright. And they're going to be in the same situation as these four. And they're going to be fighting for their life. Because you want to know why? Because people don't learn things by watching other people's mistakes nowadays. They have to go through this themselves. They have to go and sit in prison for 5 years and 3 years and go through trial. That's the way it works nowadays, man. Like me, I can sit here and I can watch what somebody else do and say, you know what? I'm not going to make that mistake. But the young people now, they can't watch what somebody else do and say, I'm not going to do what that person there did. They're going to be like, man, dude, I don't care. I'll deal with the consequences when it's time to deal with the consequences. And that's the reason why we're going to continue to have this same cycle over and over and over again. This ain't nothing but a rerun. But like I said before, the Julio Foolio trial is over with. Julio Foolio got justice. I'm not saying that Julio Foolio was a terrible person. I'm not saying that he was a great person. I think that Julio Foolio knew what came with being in the streets. He always said it. He didn't care. He had already been shot so many times. He had already been shot 6 months before by these same guys, most likely, same guns that was used, the same bullets. And I think that, he was tired, because when he put his location out on social media, the first thing I said when I saw it, I said, man, Julio Foolio got to be tired of living, because for him to do that, that's normally sloppy. No, Julio Foolio normally don't make those type of mistakes. And I think that right there is ultimately what cost him his life, by being sloppy, by telling everybody, yeah, I'm going to be in Jackson. I'm going to be in Tampa this weekend. Come ask for the address. And like I said before, when a person wants you, when a killer wants you, he will go through extra measures to get you, or she will go through the measures to get you. And that's exactly what these four defendants, or these convicted killers, or 5 convicted killers. Well, I'm going to say 4, because Alicia Andrews just got charged with manslaughter. These 4 convicted killers did to Julio Foolio. They went through the extra measures. They searched on social media. They called, hey, they texting girls, hey, are you at the party? Hey, can you get us the address? They went through the extra measures to get Julio Foolio. And in the end, it ultimately cost him his life. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And thank y'all again for listening to another great segment of the Winner Circle Podcast. Me, Ray Diggs. This right here, trial it over with. We're going to move it on to the next trial, to the sentencing phase. And like I said before, man, the Young Dolph situation, man, it hurts me to the core. I was a Young Dolph fan. I thought that, I feel like Young Dolph should have been more careful. Maybe walk around with security like Young Boy do. Let me tell y'all celebrity something. Just because you walk around with security, that don't mean that you're weak. You walk around with security because you're smart. You walk around with security because you want to live. You want to get old. That's why you walk around with security. If you can afford a security. Just because you walk around with security, I'm gonna tell you who think that you're weak. The weak people think that you're weak. The weak people that sit behind these internets and these keyboards and say that, oh man, Young Dolph gotta have security. He must be scared. I'm not. Yeah, I am scared. I'm scared to die. And I can afford security. So I think that Young Dolph made a terrible mistake by not having security. But in the end, man, rest in peace to Young Dolph, man. Rest in peace to the great Young Dolph. And like I said before, I don't think justice was served in this case, but I think justice was served in the Julio Foolio case. But y'all let me know what y'all think, and make sure y'all hit the like, the subscribe button, and make sure y'all come back and see me again next time on the Winner Circle Podcast. Until next time, y'all have a great, great, great Saturday, and be safe, y'all. Peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose grace. She raised me on scraps.